Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Game Pass Grab Bag, your weekly podcast reviewing games from the Game Pass collection, bringing you three unique perspectives from varying skill range. I am the Megalodon of this episode, Andrew. With me, the one you definitely don't need a bigger boat for, Keith.
Hello.
And of course, our very first special guest, our man Peter. Nah, just kidding. His name's actually Dave, but that intro would have worked so much better if your name was actually Peter. But for the first time, our friend Dave. If anyone who has ever checked out my stream, you probably may recognize him. He's an old friend of me and Keith, and he's played quite a bit of games. So welcome, Dave.
Hey, everybody.
And this week was a double listener pick. We had two listeners, both Bill and Curtis, recommended that we check out Maneater by Tripwire Studios. So Maneater is a third-person shark simulator.
They call it a shaRkPG when they were
Ooh,
like
that's
doing
clever.
Yeah, I watched a little interview about them talking about this game. Yeah, they called it a shaRkPG.
I mean, I just considered it like an Australian simulator, you know. Even though technically I think this takes place in the States.
Yeah, there's like the bayous of America.
I think it's supposed to be like Florida. I don't know. I just figured it was Australia because everything's trying to kill you. But yeah, Maneater, you take the place of a tiny shark, and you progressively eat your way up the food chain. And as you may have guessed with the name, eventually start eating men and women and children. No, not children.
There's no children.
No, they don't go that far. But yeah, so going around, I will start. For me, this was definitely this was a game. I wouldn't say definite. It had its flaws, but as far as the Game Pass game goes, this was actually a lot of fun. It definitely has its issues, but I enjoyed my time.
I mean, not to restate Andrew, but basically the same is this is a game that's definitely worth checking out, but it's not going to be any game of the year. It's not going to be the best thing I've ever played, but it's short enough. It doesn't overstay its welcome, and it is oddly a lot of fun. So it's still a game.
And I agree with both of you. I think it's a game. It's pretty simple, and it reminds me actually a lot of some older games that we've played, but it's still a lot of fun and a good time waster. I think, leveling up your shark and doing a lot of things. It was good.
Yeah, that's like the best way to, I think, describe it. It's just like a simple time waster. But yeah, the overall story of Maneater, as I said, you first start off as an adult-sized shark, and you're going around wreaking havoc, and you end up getting captured by a famous shark hunter. And the story actually places a nature documentary where it's following this guy, Salty Pete. Was it Pete? I think it's Salty Pete. Yeah, it sounds about right.
Sure. It's name irrelevant.
Yeah.
Angry fisherman.
I remember his name's Salty. I at least remember that bit. But yeah, it's essentially supposed to be like a documentary, and it's supposed to be the perspectives of the human and how this guy, his whole life goal is basically just to kill all the sharks. So he ends up capturing what ends up being your mother and rips you out of the womb, and so you start as a little baby, and you are going around trying to grow up and avenge your mother. And that was about it for the story. Like, the story for me, I'm gonna already say I thought the story was super disappointing.
I mean, you kill his son, so there's that. That's a plot twist.
Which, yeah, but that, well, yeah,
wait, spoiler, I didn't even get that far.
It's all right, Dave. It really doesn't change the game. I can promise you that.
Dave thought for sure the shark became friends with the humans, and now you just ruined it.
Ran for president,
Sorry.
at least.
But yeah, I don't know what you guys thought of the story. For me, I was hoping the story was too light. There was only like a handful of cutscenes, and I thought it would have done so much better if it leaned more into a comedy. Like, this game should have gone full comedy. But it tiptoed being comedy and serious. I don't know. What did you guys think of the story?
I mean, so it's funny because I'll start out. I didn't think it was great. But I watched this video today because I was trying to rehash some of like the funnier moments of the game and put together some stuff. And this guy had this video like deadpan serious talking about how like Maneater is like the best game that's ever been made. And he cracks a joke about the storyline about how it's like deeply emotional. It gets you right from the beginning because
this is a serious video.
No, okay. It took me like half the video though. I swear and once it did, it cracked me up because it was. But yeah, the storyline is they like try to pull these weird heartstrings on you, like, oh, the sharks killed my dad. I don't care. I just want to get out there and chomp, chomp, chomp. That's what I think.
I thought it was fine. I thought it was funny. It definitely hit some funny beats, but it was, like you said, like there's a lot of gameplay in between cutscenes and stuff. So meh.
Yeah, the cutscenes are like a minute long, if even that. And yeah, it's supposed to be like this documentary, and it's constantly like, Salty Pete trying to train his son to be the next shark hunter, but his son, he just wants to be a marine biologist, and he's soft and can't work the boat. And it was just like this weird family dynamic they were trying to go with, and it's just like, this is lame. It's like just go full comedy. Like what is this whole family dynamic? Like I'm a mindless shark eating people.
I like the hashtags.
It definitely.
I thought they were funny.
Like the hashtags are actually kind of funny.
And you're right. It would have been so much better if it was just a straight up comedy. It would have made sense. Like, because really throughout the whole game, it is funny. I mean, the large amount of not storyline but talking that you hear is the narrator, and he's just cracking jokes all over the place. So the game is funny. I don't know why the game or like the cutscenes don't match that.
Which the narrator is Chris Parnell. For anyone who knows, he plays the father of Rick and Morty. He plays Cyril and Archer. He's a big time voice actor, and he's in a lot of things. But he honestly was the crown jewel of this game. He was actually really funny. I actually felt like he had a very good like nature documentary voice.
He did.
Like he did a good job like explaining things, but then like would say a joke, and it's like, wait, was that a joke? I can't really tell because he actually had a good performance of it.
I didn't recognize him, but that's awesome.
Oh, you didn't? I thought it was so recognizable.
See, I had to look it up. I'm terrible with names to voices, like voice actors, unless it's like super, super obvious. But with him, I was like, I know this voice, and it drove me nuts. And originally I was actually, I mixed him up with, was it not Adam West? That's the wrong one.
Adam West is very different. But Adam West is dead.
Well, also true. Very dead. No, who's the like Fry from Futurama?
Oh.
For some reason. They're very different voices still.
Yeah.
They're actually not that close, but I kept thinking it was him. And then once I looked it up and I saw it was Chris Parnell, then I knew. And it also clicked with me because there's a Rick and Morty reference.
Yep.
If you got that, there's like a crash spaceship. And
he actually says Gazorpazorps,
yeah,
which is actually the alien race in Rick and Morty.
So yeah, like they did such a fantastic job with that. Like, because so as you go through the game, it like any open world game, you collect everything under the sun, but one of the biggest things you're collecting are these little sightseeing events or just these little, I don't know, little places that you go see things. And he's just always got some like quirky little comedy for him. And like we were just talking about, one of them, he references Gazorpazorp, and there's so many other like pop culture references that are throughout it. So I just that's always a good laugh for me.
Yeah, the collectibles in this game are actually great. Yeah, the locations that you find were hilarious. I mean, like he said, there's a ton of pop culture references. Anything that basically takes place or references the ocean, there's like a reference to.
Cthulhu.
Yeah,
Cthulhu's
Cthulhu. I found Arrested Development. You find the
banana boat.
Banana stand.
Yep.
He says there's money in the banana stand.
Happy Gilmore.
There's which one?
There's a Happy Gilmore at the golf course.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Happy Gilmore. There's even very obscurely people who barely even know the movie, but Demolition Man with Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone. They reference the 3 seashells that you use to clean yourself in the bathroom. Like completely an obscure reference.
How did you know that?
Because I loved Demolition Man. That's how I know.
Yeah, I had to look it up. I had no idea.
Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, Rob Schneider, Sandra Bullock. It's a great movie. Come on. How do I not?
I own it. I
something-
still don't recognize it.
No, I've still never heard of it, but that cast just I kind of want to now.
What, you guys, neither of you seen Demolition Man?
No, I own Demolition Man, but I didn't get the reference.
Really?
No.
Oh, because that was like to me always the funniest part. Rob Schneider laughs at Sylvester Stallone not knowing I use the 3 seashells.
Wipe his nether regions.
It's very odd. But yeah, like I loved the collectibles of this game, but as far as like the actual gameplay, meh. How did you think of the gameplay, Dave?
So, I mean, it doesn't change, and so I think that was my biggest problem with it. It was kind of like a flight simulator. Like, I guess like the closest I could get to it was like airplane fighting, but like melee. It was weird. But
airplane fighting?
Well, like because you're floating around and you're just like biting the fish, but it's hard to like orient yourself sometimes. So sometimes you just. There's no good like locking on mechanism or anything like that. So you just like bite, dodge, bite. It was fine, but it was repetitive, I thought.
I thought the gameplay was very shallow. There's a little sea reference there.
Ooh.
But But yeah, no, I agree. You're literally mashing right trigger because you chew. Like it's literally chew. So you're just constantly mash. I don't know about you guys. My fingers were getting incredibly sore playing this game because you chew with the right trigger, but you fast swim with the left trigger. So you're constantly holding left trigger while constantly mashing right trigger. My fingers were sore just playing this game after like an hour or so.
Honestly, now that you mention it, I think that might be why I noticed I had a bruise on my finger the other day. I have a stick shift in my car, and I was shifting. I was like, "Ow, that really hurt!" Look, I have a bruise on my middle finger, right at the knuckle, and I think it's from actually just sitting there slamming the right trigger into my controller for hours on end. Yeah, it's not great in that aspect. It sucks because I don't know. Playing a game is about the gameplay, and the gameplay kind of sucked. It's just engaging enough where I am a sucker for progression, and in this case, evolution. You know, you're growing bigger and stronger, and it's like, so I'm just gonna get sucked into that, and I'm gonna keep upgrading my stuff, and you get these different bodies and all these things. But it kind of wasn't that fun to do because it's very hard for the first like hour and a half of the game because you start out as this tiny little tiger shark in a fresh water. Well, we won't talk about that, but
yeah, I was actually curious about that too. Okay,
you're a weird mutant shark. I guess it's cool. That's I think it actually cracks a joke about it, to be honest. But yeah, so you start out as this little baby shark, and baby shark, and then you next thing you know, you're fighting alligators who are ridiculously hard to start. Did you guys have a problem with those alligators?
Yeah, the beginning was the hardest part of the game, which is weird.
But like once you get like level 4 and you can start to comfortably beat the alligators, you just level up super quickly, and then you can pretty well kill anything that's in your way outside of if you swam deep out into the ocean and fought a killer whale or something. But nothing, like, you never progress faster than you, or you never outgrow your skills, I guess, basically. So it just gets easier.
Yeah, this game, it was very difficult at the beginning, like he said, and then it just like, it's just easy hill, like downhill from there. Until you get, like once you get to like the ocean or like kind of near the end, you fight some more difficult boats. But all right, so like when I first started, everything's broken up in like different biome sections. So you start off in the bayou, then you get into like a lagoon. When you get to the lagoon is when it's really kind of like, oh, the reins are let loose. You can do kind of your own thing. You have a thing called infamy level, which is basically like your wanted level, but like it's like permanent. I always thought that infamy level was like per section. So you had like 10 infamy levels per section. So I got to infamy level 9, which was 10's the max. I got it within the first like section because it was just so easy. It was so easy to kill the people, to just grab them off the boat, and up here comes the boss. The boss, you literally just grab the boss. Boss is dead. Eventually the bosses are into like a cage and you have to kind of work for them. But it was like so easy. And so the max level cap is 30. I left the lagoon at like 27. So I was already at max cap by like the second area. And then like I told Keith, I was like, wait, is this infamy like through the entire game? And Keith's like, yeah. I was like, oh, I should probably stop farming this then. But yeah, I didn't think it was very difficult.
I liked the gates though. Like I guess I've had like an old sort of game mechanic where, you can't go here, but you can come back and do it once you level up.
Yeah, kind of Metroidvania.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. You can just, you have to wait and you can do it, but I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it was, I don't know. It reminded me.
It kind of annoyed me. So like it literally cut off sections saying like, oh, you need to be like an elder shark or a megalodon or like just like it, you had to be a specific age, but you can only get up to adult until you like fought the main bad guy at a certain point, like when you first go to the ocean. So you're capped at the adult, but then you become an elder after you beat him, and a megalodon after the first big fight with him, which is like in the 4th area. But yeah, like they would reduce you from certain areas, but there wasn't much reason. It's not like you needed to be strong enough to enter this reason. It was a gate to be a gate, and I didn't like that.
I felt like it was trying to be there for a reason.
Yeah, but
they didn't do a good job scaling the difficulty of the gameplay, and that's where it suffered so much, because it either needed to have more levels or just if you're fighting something that's a level 45 and you're a level 30 at your cap, it should be difficult. It is not.
No,
it never gets harder, and so that was one of the frustrating things. But Funny thing about some of the gates is not those particularly capped ones, but there are the gates into like that are separating the areas that you have to open with like I think they're like your electric tail or something like that.
Oh, right? I never figured that out.
I just jumped over them.
Yeah, I found a way to jump over them too.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I guess I don't need that.
Yeah.
I actually looked up a video for it. Yeah, I think you have to have the electric tail on and you whip and it sends out an electric beam or whatever and you can like shut the gate off.
Oh.
But I just jumped over it and then I got my hideout and then I just fast traveled everywhere. So like I never even opened them. The only reason I would have gone back and done it is if there was an achievement for it and there wasn't. So I just I didn't need it. I didn't worry about it. So yeah, that's a hot tip for you. One thing though, and I don't think you ran into this, Andrew. Dave, I don't know if you did at all, but if you are playing this game, when you're done playing it, exit the game, quit out of it before you start again. Because I found out that if you like shut off your Xbox and it does a resume when you come back onto it, the saving does not work. And I died like 4 times over the course of like an hour and lost my gameplay every single time, and I kept trying until I finally quit the game and restarted it, and then it started working. So just make sure when you're done playing, quit the game so you don't break the saving.
Yeah, I was having issues with the autosave too. Not nearly as bad as you, Keith, but there was a couple times where I'm like, I'm pretty sure I did these things.
It definitely has some issues. Mine in particular, I was able to fix, and I never had it again after I quit out. Like every time I would be done with the game, I just quit and then I'd reopen it fresh. So I never ran into it again. But I think as a whole, there honestly are still just some saving bugs to this game that they never fixed.
Yeah, this game actually, I don't know. You guys had much issues. I had a good amount of glitches. My biggest one was whenever a boss would come, it would do like a quick cutscene where it basically just show the guy pick up a gun off the boat and maybe say something stupid. Like, there's a shark over there. But either way, it would do like this weird kind of clip. And every once in a while, it would make me go into first person. Like, it would literally put the camera in my shark's mouth. And there was no way to get rid of it. And it was also fixed in one location. So as I'm moving around and stuff, like, the camera would just be stuck facing one direction. And I'd be in, like, first person. Which was kind of funny at first, like, literally seeing first person me eating people. But it was also frustrating because I'm like, I couldn't aim. I couldn't properly jump out of the water and, like, grab people because I'm, like, stuck at a fixed position. I don't know. Did you have any glitches, Dave?
I mean, the game was glitchy for sure, but
it's been out for a year too. You didn't have that one?
No.
Did you, Keith?
No.
So I'm on the Series X. So I'm curious if it's just like an issue with my Series X. But I had it like a good 6 times, and I had to completely close the game out for it to like revert.
I think that's basically the only way to fix glitches in this game in particular. But no, I didn't encounter them. You're on a Series X, aren't you, Dave?
Yeah, I'm on a Series X too, and I didn't have that one. I think I closed out on most of my games. I don't quick resume a lot of them, so.
Oh, I love the quick resume.
Oh yeah, and I mean even on the One X, like you can in most cases, unless it has to connect to a server like Madden or any EA game or something like that, like you can just close out. I can just shut off my Xbox when I'm done, and when I'm ready to go back, I just start on my Xbox and the game restarts up. So I thought I did that. It seemed to sync just fine, but no, it did not. And I should have just quit after the first try, but no, I kept trying and kept getting angry and almost gave up entirely.
Yeah, I will say, like, the thing that really kind of just disappointed me with the gameplay is, like, so as you said, Keith, they call it a shaRkPG.
shaRkPG.
shaRkPG, sorry. And I thought it just didn't do anything well. You kind of unlocked some abilities, but the abilities just didn't really change much. I never got rid of the sonar, because the sonar was so useful at, like, finding items, like the collectibles. And, like, you got, like, sets, like body parts, so you could be like electric, shadow, stone. I think that was the only 3.
You had Tiger, but
yeah,
I didn't.
I had Tiger, which kind of helped you level up faster, but it really is not necessary. But I thought it was like, I thought the skills and like the stuff you could equip just really didn't do much.
No, I didn't feel it mattered for actually fighting. Like, again, the fighting got easier as you went on, so it didn't feel like you needed to do anything different or needed to use electricity or anything special to do anything. So I guess with the gates, that was something that none of us really figured out.
Yeah. But you didn't need to anyway. Yeah, you have like it's easy to do the gates because like you kind of have like this auto lock on, which I don't know how you guys found the lock on. I found it very inconsistent.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah,
I largely avoided it actually if I could.
Yeah, and I never understood. They said like click the right stick to do like a hunter sense or like to like focus the camera on, but it wouldn't lock the camera on your target.
No.
So it was a weird feature that didn't work.
I think if you held the trigger and didn't release it, it would work. Is what it was.
Yeah,
it was.
Who wants to hold in the right stick? That's awkward.
Oh, the right stick.
Yeah, for me, it was holding in the right stick, and it would actually focus the camera on your target.
Oh yeah, there was something weird about that. I don't know. This is where like I understand where Dave was coming from when you were talking about it being like a weird flight simulator, and it's like it's not. I mean, you're underwater, but yeah, it was. I guess I'm just for whatever reason, it's not like this is the first game to ever just live solely underwater, but something about being underwater all the time threw me off. Where I could just like float. I don't know. It got weird to me, but at the same token, it's a good thing that the fighting was as easy as it was, because otherwise I think this game would be unplayable.
Yeah.
Because the auto lock on, which is really laughable. It's not very workable. Really, all you gotta do is just sit there and just mash the button until your shark kind of thrashes around, and then once you hit max level, there's like 2 things that you can't just grab and thrash to death. So everything's like super easy in terms of the fighting. So I can give it a pass on that front. But yeah, I did think like the water jumps and all of that were very wonky.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Like it was, and I think that was
sometimes you spin, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, well, actually, I was gonna say that was one thing I was thinking about is that was the most noticeable difference between any of the different skins was the evade skill. So like it did a slightly different skill for your tail whip, which again, did either of you guys know that the tail whip exists or used it?
Yeah, because later on you have to grab like the explosives and throw it back at the boats with the tail whip. Did you not do that?
You do?
Yeah, that's how you break the electric generators.
Oh, I just went full bore at it. I definitely took the hard. I would just swim under the boat and just chomp at the little electrical generators, and then I would start to run out of health, and I'd go eat a fat seal, maybe 2 if I was feeling really, snacky, and then I'd go back and chomp again on the electric generators until they were gone. I thought that was how you did that.
That's a strategy, I guess.
It's a way to play the game. I beat the game, so I got there. But yeah, I didn't do the tail whip. I knew it was there. I didn't use it. I just chomped everything I could.
I used it early, but that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little nice for stunning some of the bigger things when you had to fight them. But yeah, like I liked the bone skill because you would do this like weird spin move out of water, and it was good at taking out boats. Like, not that it was difficult to do. It just it just made it a little bit more fun, I guess, because you kind of just do this weird melee attack. But that's what I found the skills useful for.
As much as I feel like we're complaining about the gameplay, it actually is like a big plus to this game because, as we said, this game is mindless. And so, like, you don't have to think much about it. So if you're definitely looking for, like, something that is mindless, like me and Keith were talking about how we love Dynasty Warriors. Like, that's how that game is. You literally just mash a button. That's what this game is. You're just mashing right trigger. But I do think it's odd. Like Keith said, I can't remember the last time I, like, hurt my hand playing the game. The last time I remember was playing Mario Party on Nintendo 64 when you had to, like, spin the analog stick and I literally would burn the palm of my hand.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, so, like, this game, like, its gameplay is just so shallow and boring, but it actually is just, it's kind of a perk with it. I just wish there was more. I wish they delved more into the RPG element of it, and I really wish they delved more into the comedy.
Would you play a second one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
They'll call it, like, Person Eater or Man Eaters.
Well, I saw a comment online where someone made a really good point. And I mean, it's not a new thought. We have it all the time. The game could just benefit from DLC. You could easily throw in like alligators or, like other underwater creatures that you build up and evolve and like, just, I don't know.
I wish they had different sharks.
Yeah, different sharks. Like
I thought you could pick in like your breed of shark, but you're just a bull shark. And I thought they were hinting at it because you see your shark and it has like a stats page, like, oh, this is their speed and their strength and stuff like that. So it's like, oh, cool. Do I get to play a different shark?
No, it varies slightly based on this, like the organs and the bodies you choose, but
loosely.
It varies the way that Mario Kart varies. Like, cool, I have 2 more speed points, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna get screwed over by a blue shell, so it doesn't really matter. That was how the stats were, in my opinion.
I guess the only thing I would mention is like how much life there is available, like the little fish, which made it. I mean, we talked about how easy it made it, but like I mean, anything you fought, you could just basically run away, refill on life. It didn't heal, and then you hit it a few times.
Yeah, unless the hunters stopped chasing you, yeah, they wouldn't heal. So it was very easy to just kind of like constantly keep going back and picking them off one by one. That was always my strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like the apex predators or anything like that. But again, I think there was really only like 2 of the 10 apex predator. 2 of the apex predators that gave me any real issue with the alligator at the beginning.
Yeah,
and then maybe the killer whale. I think I had to do 3 or 4 times. It might have gotten me a couple of times, but again, if you over level this game, which you can very easily do if you're like just trying to collect things and not paying attention, you'll just over level yourself. And then by the time I fought some of the apex predators, I could just grab them and thrash them to death. So they weren't really all that difficult.
Yeah, I was really disappointed. I just the boss fights were so shallow.
Yeah,
but I mean, as far as like, even though the gameplay itself was shallow, I will say I was at least for the most part impressed with the graphics. I like the environments. I thought were pretty cool. I thought they did a really good job actually like designing an underwater landscape. I thought the character models were awful. The humans were so weird looking. They ranged from like fat, overweight hillbillies to toothless hillbillies.
I thought there were some broskies out there.
Kind of, but they all just were overweight. I don't know, goofy looking humans, which I think is understandable. You're an anti-hero in this game. You're obviously eating humans. You don't want to be murdering like teenagers or like really lifelike looking humans. That could probably cause issues. But I mean, I thought the underwater environments were actually impressive.
So I'm torn because I think the environments you really had like 3, and it was like bayou, nice area, ocean, and then some sort of combination of the 2 of them, where like it was like kind of bayou-y with some nice areas, and they like crossed over a little, but they weren't bad. Overall, underwater, I don't know, I felt like it kind of got all very samey, except for the ocean, because the ocean is like, it dips in a lot more places. It's just a lot more expansive because, ocean. So that made sense, but I don't know, outside of like the underwater things that you would find, like like the 3 shells and SpongeBob's house under the sea, like that was what made it interesting under the water. But it was just kind of hazy, and I know I always go back to this, but Sea of Thieves, like if you look at the water in Sea of Thieves, it is so good, it's so perfect, and this is just like And then the humans, like, not even talking about their design, they're just glitchy and goofy all the time. You like kind of run into them and they just flop around. They're screaming bloody murder, but they're actually not running away. They're just standing there next to you watching. You can jump up on their boat and sit there and they won't move.
I think it's funny when you actually eat the gunners of the boat, the driver's logical sense is like, well, I guess I'm going to jump out of the boat now. Yeah. I just thought that was weird. It's kind of funny.
It was very strange decisions being made there.
Yeah. But like when you get on the boats or on the land, I like kind of the gore. It's not over gory, but like I like when you're actually chomping humans, like you actually see like blood soaked on the boat or on the shores, and it's actually pretty cool. But I do agree, Keith, the water is very meh.
It's not Sea of Thieves.
I mean, granted, you're not seeing the top of the water too much. Most of the time you're under the water, but still meh.
But like I know I've complained about this in other games. Underwater it's a hard thing to like do well because like the light doesn't pass through, and I get that it's light doesn't pass through water necessarily all the way, especially when you're dealing with these murky bayou waters. Like, fine, I get all that, but it just looks hazy instead of being like murky, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, they just threw a smoke screen over it and we're like, yeah, you're underwater now. Yeah. But like there's no like light passing through and you're like, okay, I can see where like the light's hitting good here, but there's a big rock that's keeping it here, so you have like a shaded area underwater. It's just all underwater is underwater.
But I mean, you also can't fault. This is a small indie studio.
Sure,
they're not AAA. Like, it makes sense, but I see where you're coming from.
But yeah, I just even
There's
without
room for improvement.
Yeah, even without doing, it's not a bad job. It's just it did not impress me, I will say. But I thought the overall design of your shark is cool. I like the way that changes with the body and all of that fun stuff.
I thought the above water environments were pretty varied and cool. I agree with you, Keith, about underwater. It was all samey and hazy, but like above water, they had, the golf course was way different than anything else that we saw in the bayou or anything else. They had like a cruise ship out on the ocean and some other stuff, like docks and stuff like that. I thought were different. So I thought it was cool and varied, made a different feeling.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but one thing I loved about actually with some of the graphic designs that they did. So there's no mini map, but there is a map, but it mostly just kind of shows you location of like collectibles. So it's not really easy to like figure out where you are when you're in tunnels. But I don't know if you guys noticed. They did a fantastic job with the colors. So if you're going through a tunnel, they have like blue algae specifically showing you like, oh, this is the tunnel. But they always had gold algae showing you exits. So when you're really into the caves and like you're lost because there's no mini map, just look for the gold algae and you're like, oh, that's an exit. I can go out that way. And you just follow the path that way. So graphically, that was a really smart choice. Because I don't know if you guys had any issues, but I never got lost once I figured that out. But they don't explain it to you, so there's a little pro tip.
I didn't figure it out. I didn't get lost, to be honest. Like, I just kind of headed in one direction and I didn't feel like I ever got lost. But I didn't figure that out. So that's interesting. Good tip.
The underwater areas definitely do get a little more complex. So I know where you're coming from, Andrew, because there's at least one or two areas I can think of where you can enter and exit from multiple points.
Yeah.
So when you get into those, that's where you can be like, wait, did I go this way? Did I not go this way? And at the end of the day, as Andrew pointed out, you always knew you at least could get out of them. Even if you couldn't necessarily figure out where you were going or if you were going the right way, you could always get back into open water.
You also had a fast travel too at your disposal.
I liked the fast travel in this game.
Yeah.
That's another thing real quick.
Every zone has its own home base, and you can just fast travel to any of the home bases. I didn't like that was the only place you could evolve, but I mean, it also wasn't like too much of a hindrance.
Yeah, you kind of just evolve like, I don't know, a handful of times throughout the game, so it really ends up not being a major issue.
Yeah. Did you guys... I didn't feel like I was growing that big. Like, by the end, you become well, they don't say megalodon, they call you a mega shark. But yeah. I didn't feel like I was really that big of a beef boy.
No, you're 9 meters, I think is what it tells you are. And I think that's length. I don't know if that's actually a lot or not. I don't speak metrics. I'm American, dang it.
Well, even then, like at the very end, you go like face to face, obviously the main bad guy, and you're like you only seem like you're only slightly bigger than a human.
The only time I actually noticed it was, like I mentioned, I was going back and I was watching a video today, or a couple videos today on it, and I saw like a clip of someone when they were the baby shark, and that's where it's very noticeable. Like when
makes sense.
Well, no, I know, and I get that, but even if I think about when I was playing it, I wasn't like by the end of it, I was like, wow, I've come so far. Yeah. I'm so much like I didn't feel like I had gotten that much bigger because of the way that it's so gradual. But when I actually looked, and I was like, oh, that is a stark difference. Yeah, I can see now, but it didn't ever feel like I was. And by the end of it, you don't feel like yeah, you're the strongest thing in the ocean or whatever, which everything still keeps attacking you. Like I proved I'm the apex here. Leave me alone.
I kind of wish that. It's like once you got bigger than something, I wish they just stopped attacking you.
There is an organ for that.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, it's like if it's less than half your level or something like that. But even then, that stops like the apex alligator from attacking you. Everything else ends up being like a 20 plus. It was, I don't know, it wasn't a great system. But I don't know, nothing really challenges you enough to be a bother. It's just, I don't even know where I was going with that. I lost my focus.
See, like this is why I wish the game went full kind of comedy, because I hate that you cap at level 30. I wish this game had no cap, and you literally could just get so big that you literally could just start munching land or like killing people. Like I was expecting this game. I was hoping this game would go kind of like Katamari Damacy, when you're the little guy rolling a ball and you're getting bigger. Eventually, you're absorbing planets. I was kind of hoping this game would do that. Like, because what I saw, like, when Dave said, like, with the cruise ship when you got in the ocean, that was my goal. I was like, oh, I hope I can, like, somehow bite the ship or something like that. Yeah. Nah. And, like, this game should have just gone comedy. I want to be chewing the land. I want to eat Florida.
Did they miss a Sharknado reference in this? Was there not even a single Sharknado reference?
No, well, there's a mega shark versus giant octopus, like, another one of goofy sci-fi movies, but also too there's no baby shark reference. I was expecting a baby shark reference.
Baby Shark was an easy miss,
maybe because this is also meant to be like an adult game and you don't want to reference a kid thing. Well, they reference SpongeBob.
Yeah, adults know what Baby Shark is. I mean, even adults without kids know what Baby Shark is. Like, you live under a rock if you don't know what Baby Shark is. That's all I'm saying.
But the other thing that I also found very repetitive is just the general sounds. I got real annoyed constantly hearing some of the humans saying things. Like, the humans, I thought, like, literally only had, like, 5 dialogue options. and like constantly hearing the munching of your shark. A lot of the sounds got a little bit repetitive. Luckily, nothing was jarring, but like I said, at least Chris Parnell, he definitely makes it. You do not want to cut off your audio in this game. Just his dialogue alone. This was like a celebrity hire that actually just didn't go there for a paycheck. I actually felt like he did a good job performing.
Yeah, and you said it. I mean, he could do an actual nature documentary. Like I would watch a nature documentary with Chris Parnell now, even if it was serious.
But he only had a handful of lines in some of the areas, and you just heard them over and over and over again at the same time.
Yeah, some of his lines got a little repetitive, but I didn't think they were too bad.
No, I wouldn't have wanted to cut off my audio.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, oh, I've heard this one 3-4 times already.
The worst repeating is whenever you were collecting the chests.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like that's the worst of it. And outside of that, every other collectible you get is a unique audio for it. And even like at least the first time you eat something, like he's got some cheeky little audio for whatever you've killed or eaten. Like it seemed to shake it up just enough. So I liked that.
Yeah, but as far as I thought like the guns were kind of getting repetitive, boat noises, the people screaming. They said a lot of the same lines, but I mean, what do you expect? You hear a lot of chomping.
I don't think sharks growled. Maybe I'm wrong.
Keith, did you hear the butt rock though?
No, but I didn't know. I did catch the Nickelback reference.
Oh yeah, there was a Nickelback reference. But no, if you got the electric body, you had an active ability. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, there you go. It was just kicking some butt rock as soon as you activated it. And I heard that. I was like, he's gonna love this.
It was a lot of chugga chugga from the guitar. It was much.
Yeah, but I thought that was it kind of made me laugh every time it kicked in because it wouldn't. I didn't even know what the ability was really doing to me because this combat was so shallow that I'm just like, I don't know.
It made me real fast. It seemed. It was like Sonic.
It kicked
I
in
wish
the
it had just
guitar.
gone Sega.
But a great thing about this game though, I highly recommend it for achievement hunters. So both me and Keith 1,000 this game. Dave got set a little over 200, so he didn't beat the game. Lame. But as far as achievements go, yeah, this is a very easy game for achievement hunters. So for time to beat, you're looking between 8 hours if you just do main story and about 12 hours to complete it. And it doesn't take long to complete. 12 hours is not much of a long time. That's a weekend game. And finding the collectibles are all very easy. Nothing was hard to find. And the collectibles, all of them I thought were enjoyable. Even the plates, getting the license plate were probably the most annoying because some of those you had to jump really high for, and there wasn't much of a reward. I didn't really get why I was getting license plates.
I mean, I think that's just it's like a Bayou reference. I feel like in a lot of ways, but I don't really even know why. I don't know. Maybe alligators.
Well, that was you cleaning up trash, but there was so much other trash. I didn't get. I don't know. All the other collectibles made sense. The location ones were funny because it was referencing pop cultures. The chest, obviously, you're getting chest of goodies.
Yeah.
And then it was just then you got license plates, and it's just okay.
I do think the license plates all said something slightly different, but
redneck.
Yeah, they weren't anything too funny, but
no, yeah.
But see, that's sort of one of my gripes, and I guess I can get a little more into this in the wrap up. But once you finish the achievements, there's just nothing worth playing in this game anymore, and it's kind of a bummer. This is where I agree with Andrew. I want more to the game, but yeah, I guess I'll save that more for the wrap up.
The sonar was super helpful though for getting any of the collectibles. You could find anything by just running around in circles using your sonar.
Yeah, that's why I never got rid of that ability.
Yeah,
because then the other abilities you could replace it with were just that's okay. I don't really care. So I never got rid of the sonar.
It is funny that, and this is going to sound really bad, though a few of the collectibles were the things that I actually did look up on YouTube though, because there was one of them in particular that I just didn't realize that there was a little hole I had to jump into slightly offshore. It's right in front of your face, but it was just one of those things that I swam around for a good 5-10 minutes and I was like, you know what, I'll come back to this. And then when I went to go back to it, I was like, it's one of two things I need to do to 100% this game. I'm not bothering. I'm just going to quickly look it up and I'm going to do it. But honestly, you can do it without looking anything up in this game unless you're just feeling lazy like me.
Yeah, so definitely check it out if you're an achievement hunter. Or an achievement eater.
Oh. I think that's actually how I beat you last month because I beat all this right at the end of the month and you beat it.
I beat it right at the beginning of this month. So
yeah.
I'm already ahead now.
Yeah. So there's your answer to that, Javier.
But yeah, so getting to our final thoughts, I guess I'll start here. So Maneater for me, it's a game. It was fun. I enjoyed my time with it. It's just don't expect anything crazy. It's very shallow. It's definitely a game you just turn your brain off. Here's some funny quips from Chris Parnell making jokes about sharks or people doing dumb things. The story, not worth your time, honestly, which I thought was very disappointing. And as Keith said, once you beat the game, you're pretty much done with this game. So this is a fantastic Game Pass game. This is something I was glad I didn't drop like, $50 on. I got to play it over the weekend. Had a lot of fun. Sent my eyes to bigger ships. But yeah, so the graphics are pretty nice. Everything about it is just very middle of the road or just not that great. I think I'm just going to give it a solid... No, wait, sorry, I got a
chewy? A bitey?
A nice morsel, bite-sized morsel 70. I guess is a little stretch. I don't know. But yeah, just a 70 to me. It's just... It was fun for a weekend, but I'm okay never playing it again.
Yeah, so I'm absolutely going to steal Andrew on this one. And when I say that this is a perfect Game Pass game, I remember seeing this game when it came out. I thought, man, that looks like a lot of fun. Like, I used to play a ton of just stupid, like, Feeding Frenzy, if you remember that. Like,
yeah, loved Feeding Frenzy.
That game was so much fun. And honestly, I still have it on my Xbox, and every so often, maybe every 6 months or so, I'll fire it up just because, I don't know, I like the whole, like, bite, grow, repeat, and I was hoping for that, but like on a realistic, hyper level, and it is, and in a lot of ways it really comes through on that, but I was just expecting so much more from this game. And what I found was I didn't really want any more of it from a time perspective. I think the 12 hours was like a great amount of time to put into it, but I wanted to feel like I did more in those 12 hours, and maybe you could have got me to put in 15, 20 hours if there was actually more to it. But I don't know. It's still a lot of fun. It's super easy. It's oddly relaxing, I guess, in that sense. And you can grab an easy 1,000 achievement score if that's something that you're into. So, all in all, it's definitely a great Game Pass game. It's absolutely worth checking out. But don't get upset if you don't love it, and don't blame me at least. So. Though I'm with Andrew on that 70 score. I think it's good. No, I would give 75. Chris Parnell is an easy bonus 5 points.
Yeah, I'd give it to you. Yeah.
Did I sell you?
I'm sticking to 70, but you have a good argument with that though. All
right, I've both stole my scores as I moved them around, but I thought it was a solid game. It's a lot of fun. I'm probably gonna finish it. I haven't finished it yet, like you guys said, but. I'm enjoying it. The gameplay's meh, but the comedy's worth sticking around for, and the gameplay's not hard. So I like collecting the collectibles, and it's just kind of relaxing and fun to play. So I'll go 78.
Ooh, yeah, you went higher.
I did, yeah.
It's because you're just not burnt out enough by it yet. It'll drag you down, Dave. Don't you worry.
You'll be sleeping with the fishes by the end.
Not your best.
Okay. But as far as Metacritic goes, for critics, it is currently at a 71, and for users, it's at a 6.9.
Nice.
And our fourth co-host did review this game, and you're all thinking, surely he must have called it like a fishy turd or something like that. No, he actually gave it a 5 out of 10.
This game must take place in Louisiana.
Why?
French Quarters. That's why he gave it a 5.
But so in his review didn't say anything that special. But no, he didn't reference anything about the French Quarter though. But maybe
no, it's implied. It's the only reason it got anything above a 2.
But yeah, he actually gave it a 5. And so this actually might be one of his highest rated games. I don't even think Plague Tale got that high. I think he gave Plague Tale a 4.
Yeah.
So
I don't remember, but
that's shock.
Yeah, it was oddly not even all that interesting of a read. It was very wordy. We looked at it together, and I just said, no, that's too much. But the 5 is really all that matters, and I still can't wrap my head around that.
So I think that's going to do it for us. So for the most part, if you were just looking for a simple, fun weekend game, this is right up your stream. A little better, Keith?
A little better. You had some good ones earlier. It's just you're kind of losing some steam here.
Okay, whatever, fine. But I think that's going to do it for us this week. I just want to say thank you all so much for those who have taken the time to write us a review on Amazon or iTunes. I don't know why I said Amazon. We greatly appreciate getting your guys' feedback. We love hearing reviews from you guys, even the negative ones. So thank you all so much who have taken the time to give us a review. Greatly appreciate it. You guys really keep us going with this. I've been your hardcore gamer host, Andrew. You can find me on Xbox Live at Firebird01952 and Twitch at the same name. Wow. Follow us on Facebook as well. Sorry, Keith. I'm cutting you off before you can start. Just to remind people, follow us on Facebook because I will put pictures up of previous games that we played for the score. All right, Keith. Say your magical thing.
I was just gonna say thanks to Dave. Thanks for stepping up. Joining the team for the week. We're going through some weird times, and Andrew and Liz are trying to move, and we're trying to make sure we can still keep putting out episodes. So Dave jumped in and was a big help this week. So thanks, Dave.
Yeah,
that's all I got to say.
It.
Yeah, when Keith said that, me and Liz are moving, more like Liz did like 90% of the work, and I just picked up big boxes and moved them.
I mean, that's just implied, but.
So thank you very much, Liz, for moving us. But unfortunately she wasn't here this week, but she'll be back. Dave will be gone. He's out of here. No, we'll probably have Dave back in the other episodes. We're going to have some other special guests come up in the future as well. Dave, do you want to say an outro?
Sure. Find me on Xbox at Bags1147. That's it.
He's the best dang Madden commissioner that you could ask for, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And if you can find a way to bump up my draft picks, I would need that.
Always looking for partners on Rocket League.
That's right.
But thank you all so much for joining us. We hope to see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye.